Greg Davis taking over as the offensive coordinator at Iowa for Ken O'Keefe, who left for the NFL. Davis, great track record, coming from Texas, coordinated their national championship offense in 2005. Has been an assistant, as you see, at a number of big-time programs. Also a former head coach at Tulane. Gerry.
This fall will be Kirk Ferentz's 14th year as the head coach of Iowa. But the first year, Ken O'Keefe will not be his offensive coordinator. Greg Davis, a 38-year coaching veteran, takes over the Iowa offense. I recently sat with Greg, watched video, talked football, and it was clear why he's considered one of the best in the business. He brings extensive experience as a play caller, an offensive mind, and will certainly add some new wrinkles to the Iowa offense. But as you'll find out in our conversation, at Iowa, it always starts with the run game.
Kirk has done such a great job in the people here with the zone play. And it's a simple play, but it's one that takes great execution.
What does zone mean? If I'm the left guard, by way of example, what does zone block mean to me?
Zone tells the offensive line coach that we're going to work together as opposed to just me blocking you in a man-to-man situation. I think it's important to note here that sometimes zone gives an opinion to the outside people that it is a less than macho block, that we're just running to a gap. That is not the case at all. We're taking a zone to identify our man, and then we want to physically move that man. This is a typical 4-2 situation here, where we are actually working to this guy. So these three guys, the center is going to step off, and as he steps off, he's actually going to protect the guard. So we tell the center, if the knee comes to you, then you and the guard will end up working together. So these two guys are going to work, and it's real important, and I think this is where some people miss the boat, is that we want not only lateral movement, we want vertical movement. We want this down guy moving backwards so the will linebacker in this case can be caught in no man's land. That's part of what we're talking about, stacking the backers. Now, the backside guard has an inside shade. He has got to go hard. He is going to be protected by the tackle. And now you're trying to cut the defense. The tight end, we're constantly talking about the backside people in the zone, your play side. It's important that they understand that not only that we cut this end off, but we start trying to get vertical right there. The back is going to take a lateral step, and he is starting downhill at the inside foot right here of the tackle, and we want him to not make a cut until he can step on the toes of his offensive lineman. That lets the linebackers get to their responsibilities, and at that time we will tell him, press the hole or make a one-lane change and cut back.
Coach, take us through another run play, but take it to the next step for us, if you will, when the defense has trouble stopping the run with just its front, has to add the secondary player.
As you can see right here, we're lined up in the I formation. The defense is in an under defense, and we are going to zone these two guys. But now the center and the backside guard, they're going to work a backside combination, and we're going to isolate the fullback on the play side backer. We're going to ask the back to follow that fullback, get on his toes before he makes a decision. Here's where the wide receivers are so critical. You get a good picture of the X receiver. And this is interesting, Coach. Right there at that collision point. We tell the X receiver, don't gather yourself. If you will go in there and take your shot, these DBs a lot of times will feel you, avoid you, and maybe you don't make that great block. But by avoiding the block, you created a lane for the running back.
Let's take a look at play action pass off the same lead play.
Here we are, we're in the same set. It is a 1st and 10 situation. And now we want to sell the run. You can actually see the tailback rolling over the ball. We're trying to let this guy see everything exactly the same.
At a certain point, right about there, I mean, you wouldn't know the difference.
Right.
I mean, if we took the two plays and spliced them for the first 10 steps, it would look identical.
Right. Not only would it look the same, we tell our kids it should sound the same. We wouldn't want you to know as an old ball coach, was that the play action pass or was that the isolation? Now, the safety actually does a pretty good job right here, but this is what we would call a flat foot, meaning that he did not back up, he did not come forward, but he flat foots. And so now with a full head of steam, we should have an opportunity to gain an advantage.
Well, Coach, I tell everybody this when you were hired at Iowa, that you turned me down once. I tried to get you on the staff. You're one of the best in the business. You've done great work, and glad you're at Iowa and appreciate you spending time with us.
Thank you, Coach. And I only turned you down because of the timing. I knew what kind of coach you were and what a passion you had for football, and that's what I have.
Appreciate you spending time with us.
Thank you.